This morning, so far at the time of making this video, 2 out of the 5 Star Wars Celebration Hot Toys exclusives 2025 that have been announced have been released. So we got to talk about Galen Erso from Rogue One, and then we got to talk about this, what's it, Cherry Blossom Stormtrooper. Let's get started. Hi everyone, welcome to One Six Figure Focus, and in this video we're going to talk about the newly announced, released. These were released today. They were announced in the last few weeks, along with a 1-to-1 Grogu 2.0. Of course, you have Galen here from Rogue One. You have this Stormtrooper, the Cherry Blossom Stormtrooper. You have the Vader with the kind of blue and is it a battling effect or something like that? The blue and red paint on him. And there was another one as well. There was another one. It was a Darth Maul. Oh, so I don't have my light on here. There we go. Okay, so yeah, Darth Maul. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so basically this one has been released and this one here has been released as well. I'm going to start off talking about this one. Okay, I am a trooper collector. Nothing screams Star Wars more than either Darth Vader or I think a close second is just a straight up original trilogy white shiny Stormtrooper. As a member of the 501st, and you know, speaking as someone who has a Shepard Studios TK armor, I always loved the design of troopers, and it's not just the normal TKs. You appreciate like if the Death Trooper, the Assault Tank Commander, the Transport Trooper, as kind of boring as it is, I still like it. Shore Troopers are great, Death Troopers are great, Clone Troopers as well, Cody, Clone Pilots, all that kind of stuff. There's some great troopers out there. This one here though, it would just look completely out of place in my collection. The only situation that I can would see myself picking this up is that if I was actually at one of these cons or at Star Wars Celebration. So if I was at Star Wars Celebration 2025 in Japan, I did actually have tickets for it. I sold them on because I'm going to Japan later on in the year. This is the only situation I'd imagine picking this up. Okay, but that being said, so I'm just going to take that out of it and just flick through some of these images. It pretty much looks exactly like this image is pretty cool. Like, to be honest, it is grown on me. It just would look very out of place in my collection. But if you're at, I think the time to get this is if you were at Star Wars Celebration as a memento of picking this up and having it being limited. I don't particularly care if things are limited or not, but having it being limited and only available there at the Star Wars Celebration con, it'd be a nice memento and a kind of a keepsake or a timepiece or a memory from that particular con or Star Wars Celebration. It's very strange with the is it called a Haura or something like that? I think Ian, Agent Silver Fox, he used to I think work in Japan. He's been to Japan a bunch. I think it's a Hauri. I think that's what he said. Was the name of this type of jacket. I could be wrong on that. Ian, you'd have to ask Ian. He knows what he's talking about when it comes to Japan. So he's been there a bunch of times, but I think he said it was called a Hauri. I hope I'm right on that, so maybe he'll comment on the video and let me know. You have the E11 blaster in his right hand, and then of course you've got his that smaller blaster, the pistol that comes with some Stormtroopers, and also comes with I think that comes with K2SO as well. You got the green lenses as well, and then the Cherry Blossom design, not on just on the jacket. No, it's not really a jacket, really, Hauri, whatever. And on the parts of the armor as well, because obviously cherry blossoms are a big kind of part of Japanese culture. On the back here, I didn't actually notice that in the original image for this, the kind of images that were put out there, the promotional images, the prototype images, essentially it's the same thing, just different photos, I'd imagine. I didn't notice the Death Star. I noticed they had the Imperial cog just on his shoulders. Then you got some cherry blossoms on the back in the center, but then down towards the bottom part on the back of this jacket, you've got the Death Star, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so it's a Stormtrooper with a bunch of cherry blossoms on it. Definitely not for me. Here in this shot here, actually, I think it would look quite well on one of the environmental Death Star bases here. I think it would look quite well in one of the environmental, see the Death Star base I have here behind the snowspeeder Luke is on. I think it would look quite well on them. They came with the original trilogy Stormtroopers that were reissued there basically last year. I think it would look quite well on one of them because I think the cherry blossoms would stand out more. I'm just judging that by the backdrop here. It has that kind of white light and that Death Star light up kind of style in the back of this photo, so that's why I'm suggesting that. So like aesthetically, it's a strange choice. I can understand the logic. They're in Japan. They wanted to put something that's culturally significant, that coincides with Star Wars, and the fact that Star Wars Celebration is taking place now. Getting a bit of envy there of, say, the likes of Spice Runner and Calvin over there. Met Calvin before in 2023 in London, Star Wars Celebration, which is a great time. He's an absolute gentleman. Met Spice Runner as well, Sean as well. These images are kind of cool. So you have a bunch of different troopers together. You've got the, I don't think Enoch is actually released yet, but you've got the Incinerator Trooper. I had that and passed it on. A few shinies, a Scout Trooper, I have that. There's a Shadow Trooper there as well. You've got the kind of that is a Zombie Trooper from Ahsoka. You got a Shori in the back there. It's kind of cool. And this lad in the front then seems to be taking a photo of them. It's kind of cool when the bloggers do little things like that. That's a lot of troopers in one photo. We've got Incinerator. You got Artillery, you got some members of the Bad Batch, you got Scout Trooper in the back there, you got that Scout Trooper from the Jedi Survivor game, of course you got Mando, who else do you have in the front? You got R2, I think that's Wicket there as well. Yeah, bunch of troopers, so wow. This is the first time seeing this, so this is like, that's a lot. It must be like 50 figures there, maybe more. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Cad Bane in the back there, K2SO. You got a Dark Trooper in the back. Man, this guy went all out with these. That is pretty cool. Just shows you the amount of different trooper variants they do. I'm glad I kind of draw the line at predominantly troopers from original trilogy, Mandalorian, and I have a few from Rogue One. I have two actually. That's probably a terrible statement. I have troopers from original trilogy, some from Rogue One, the Mandalorian. And I do actually, my only prequels figures are troopers as well, Commander Cody and the Clone Pilot. Clone Pilot's so good though. Yeah, so look, that actually looks like a person. Whatever way, that doesn't look like, whoever, CGE Rock who took this photo, that actually doesn't look like a figure. That looks like a person.
Apologies for quick interruption to this video. If you're watching this video right now, hit the like button and more importantly, hit the subscribe button. It really helps me grow the channel and the support is greatly appreciated. Back to the video.
Okay, let's take a look at Galen Erso. I said earlier on this video that the only way I would envision ever picking up that Cherry Blossom Stormtrooper or a Porcelain Trooper or a Gold Trooper or a Silver Trooper or Chrome or whatever is if I was actually at Star Wars Celebration. But even still, I know myself, I know how to collect. I still wouldn't. Even though I collect troopers, I prefer screen accurate troopers. This one though is one that if I was there, I could actually see myself picking up. Now I'm not going to try and get this. I could get this. I could reach out to my Hong Kong based reseller, or I could just, I don't know, hit someone up and I'd probably pick this up. You'd have to pay through the nose for it, but I'm not going to, because yeah, Rogue One's fantastic, but if Rogue One, I'm picking up that Cassian and that K2SO, and that might well be the only two figures I need from Rogue One. Maybe you get a Jin, but I think if I was at Star Wars Celebration, this is something I could go, you know what, I'm gonna just relax my own collecting parameters and rules here. When in Rome, pick this guy up, because then you could still pair him with, say, Jyn Erso, or yeah, it makes sense if they do another 2.0 Jyn Erso. I don't actually have a Jyn Erso. The only figures from Rogue One I have, I believe, are a Shore Trooper and an Assault Tank Commander, because they're part of the Troopers display, because I'm not all in on the Rogue One line. I do want an Andor, but that, as much as I like Rogue One, I still think that's based more so on my love for the Andor TV show. But if I was in Japan, this is something I could probably go, you know what, I'm just going to relax a bit. I'm just going to, yeah, pick up one of these. I think it turned out really well. So this is Mads Mikkelsen, I believe the actor's name. It's a very basic figure, but I think it's a very stylish figure. It's kind of like a Lando. Lando's a very basic figure, but the head sculpt's pretty good, and the outfit's kind of elegant. And these Imperial officers, like say the likes of Krennic or Tarkin, they're very simple, but they have a certain type of presence to them. Maybe it's all the kind of muted matte colors and stuff like that. So you've got them in this kind of I don't know, just an Imperial officer's uniform with the white collar and shoulders, two silver bits which look like pens. They're not pens, I'm guessing, but they look like pens stuck in there, like, you know, hey, he's an engineer, maybe he has to do some maths. And then you got this kind of a dark green kind of color, and then of course that belt, which more than likely is pleather. Can't remember what he's holding in his hand there. Is that like the hard drive thing that he comes with, where he has the Death Star plans? I'm nearly sure that that's where the plans are, which reveal the weakness. I could be completely wrong on that. I think the sculpted hair looks really well. You got the separate rolling eyeballs function. I think they've done well with the likeness, the facial hair. I don't think it's like a 10 out of 10 likeness or anything, but I think it's quite strong. I think it's a solid 8, maybe even slightly higher. I think a solid 8 is like, I think actually these images look a bit better to me than the prototype images, and I'm pretty sure they're the same figure, because a lot of these exclusives, they're announced and then a week or two later they're actually released, they're ready to go. So the prototype images are probably the final product that they're actually using. So it's kind of a strange way to have the blogger photos as well, but I suppose the bloggers have their own different interpretation and different poses and different lighting and different lenses, so it shows it off in a different way. I think the likeness is there. I really like the sculpted hair, particularly kind of the left kind of fringe there. It looks quite natural. Facial hair is done quite well, the wrinkles in the forehead. Your separate rolling eyeballs function, of course, gives a load of different dimensions here. It comes with that same blaster that the Cherry Blossom Stormtrooper comes with. I haven't seen a price on this one because I don't think it's going to go up on Sideshow. I think it's just for Japan, and I think it's very limited as well. So you've got the plans, this little hologram for the Death Star. I think they've done a good job. And like diehard Rogue One fans are having a field day this week, because you can get an Andor for $275. It's not limited. You don't have to queue for it. You don't have to be at a con or Star Wars Celebration Japan. So if you are a diehard Rogue One fan and you're just waiting and waiting and waiting for the likes of Andor, that box has been ticked. Maybe you wanted a reissue of K2SO for some reason, or maybe you wanted the light up version. Maybe you missed out on K2SO. That box has been ticked this week. And now Galen is out as well, so you might have to pay through the nose for it, but he's there. These three look great. And like Tarkin's an old figure, but it still looks incredible. It still holds up. That wrist joint is terrible, but what are you gonna do? Krennic looks good too. I saw the trailer, obviously the Andor season 2 trailers, and Ben Mendelsohn is in the trailer, and we know he's going to be in season 2, but he does look definitely older. Obviously he's older now because Rogue One was 9 years ago, so naturally he's going to get older, but it's almost like they haven't, like, here his hair, okay, I'm going by a figure of him based on a movie that came out 9 years ago, and the figure probably came out about 6 years ago or something like that. Like, the hair looks brown here, whereas in the ad I saw, he definitely has a few more grey hairs. It's weird how maybe I'm completely wrong on that, but I'd have to watch season 2. It's almost like they didn't really make too much of an effort to make him look younger. That kind of throws me off sometimes in Star Wars, because, like, you know, you're watching the original trilogy, then you go back in time before any of that happened, and you watch the prequels, and, you know, the one time I watched the sequels, then I think I've seen those movies maybe Force Awakens maybe 3 times, Last Jedi maybe twice, 3 times, and then I think the last one. But when you go back and forth and you're trying to keep up with the timeline, and then they do things like this, which is set before the original trilogy, before Rogue One, after Andor season 1, and then, but yet this actor was in a movie that comes after the season you're watching now, season 2 of Andor, when it comes out. He looks older in the trailer anyway, and then if you watch Rogue One then after, which comes after season 2 of Andor, he's going to look a bit younger, you know what I mean? That kind of does throw me off. Now again, maybe I'm misremembering, but I look, it's natural that he's going to get old, but they haven't really seemed to make too much of an effort to make him look younger. But look, I haven't seen the season yet, so I'll take a look at it. These three look great together, despite being, you know, Tarkin's the oldest figure here, and then Krennic looks bloody incredible. That's a great likeness there. They're very simple figures, but they are quite elegant. They look quite well. Particularly Krennic looks so good. Yeah, so, like, I mean, this isn't one I'm going to pick up because it's not a main character particularly gravitate to, and also it's going to cost you an arm and a leg as well. Like, they all look great. What those Imperial officers have in common, it's kind of like Vader. They just look great flanked by two different stormtroopers there. Very, very simple. So yeah, I think they've done a great job with this. So I'm going to keep an eye on the announcements today, or so should I say the posts on the official HotToys Instagram and Facebook, and just see if they put them all out today, because we're still waiting on, I suppose, Grogu, that concept Maul, and the Darth Vader as well. I'm not enamored by any of those announcements. The best one I think was Galen, because how I collect, I'm never going to collect the concept art or non-canon, non-screen accurate stuff like the Maul or that particular trooper or that Vader, and even the one-to-one Grogu. Like, I'd say as a member of the 501st, 2 armors I'd always wanted to do. Like, I have the TK. I think a Shore Trooper would. I just think the Shore Trooper's some of the coolest armor out there. And then like a Beskar. I've seen some really, really good Beskar Mandalorians, like season 2 style. And I think if I had that, I'd get the Grogu, because you know you have the satchel, even though it's not the satchel that necessarily that if you can see the Chrome Mando behind me, you probably can't make it out there, but he has that kind of potato sack over the shoulder satchel with Grogu in it. But of course, there's no Imperial markings on that, and the one that Grogu comes with, the Grogu 2.0, has the Imperial markings, kind of like, if I go back here and if you look at Krennic's chest and Tarkin's chest, it's something like that something like, see what's on Tarkin's left chest here, it's something like that on the bag, you know. So it's basically, I think it's the satchel or the bag that the Scout Troopers had him in, because they're Imperial in the end of season 1. I think that's what it's based on. So yeah, but yeah, so there's nothing really I'm too interested in here. But looking forward to the announcements, the official announcements they have for, say, May 4th. For Revenge of the Sith. That'll be interesting, even though I won't get anything from the prequels. And then the summer showcase, fingers crossed for an Andor and a Luton from the Andor TV show. I do think we probably, I reckon Ewoks are on the horizon, from that post they did earlier on a few days ago there, where they had the cos babies, and sometimes that does translate from cos baby to 6 scale. I do think that there is some sort of a version of Darkside Anakin on the way, branded Return of the Sith, or Revenge of the Sith, should I say, with the accurate, you know, blue lightsaber, and some sort of a base as well, kind of an environmental base that would be actually relevant, or something out influenced by Revenge of the Sith. Maybe they do an artisan Anakin Darkside Revenge of the Sith, or maybe they do both. Artisan, you know, rooted, or whatever you want to call it, glued, and a sculpted version as well. So yeah, look, that's the end of the video. I'll keep you up to date on any kind of other announcements or releases, but yeah, that's the end of the video. If you want to support the channel, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. Let me know if you're picking up any of these 2 or not. Also, consider becoming a channel member, and we are giving away an Artisan Anakin Skywalker, the light side one that was limited to 4,000. If you want to be in with a chance of winning that, all you have to do is super thanks on this video or any video, super chat on any live stream, or be a channel member on the night of the giveaway. I know what I'm going to do it now, and I'm going to announce that probably on the Hope Show on Monday night. Yeah, you can also follow me on Instagram and on X. That's it. That's the end of the video. See you in the next one. Good luck.